AM Best has released a new report focused on the state of the U.S. property casualty mutual insurance segment. Here to discuss the report is Lauren Magro, financial analyst. And Lauren, 2022 is kind of a tough year for the entire property casualty segment. What are mutuals doing to mitigate any concerns? And is the mutual structure, does that give them any advantage over their stock counterparts?
Yeah, thanks, John. So you're absolutely right. 2022 was a difficult year for the entire industry. The insurers were subject to the effects of inflation, which caused elevated claims costs in addition to increased exposures. In addition to that, they were subject to above average weather-related events. And in addition to that, the hardening reinsurance market. Many insurers found it tough to renew their programs concurrent with the prior years, and also found themselves subject to higher retentions and to price increases. In terms of mitigating these conditions, mutuals have done a lot of the same things that the remainder of the industry has done. They have been increasing rates, increasing deductibles, also tightening up underwriting guidelines in order to refine their risk selections, through that non-renewing and canceling some of those unfavorable risks. We've also seen with some mutual insurers a shift trying to diversify a bit out of those personal lines exposures and more towards the commercial side, and we've seen that shifting over the past 5 years as well. In regards to their structure, mutuals, they operate with a philosophy of long-term financial stability. This differs a bit from stock companies, which may focus more on meeting shareholder expectations in the short term, meeting quarterly goals and things to that nature. But mutuals, they're very relationship-driven. Like I said, they focus on that long-term stability, and that has allowed them to really build themselves up to prepare them to withstand a year like 2022. So that's where they've been a bit different than the stock counterparts in that aspect.
Catastrophe losses have generated most of the headlines, but to what extent is social inflation impacting mutuals?
All right, so the mutuals have not been immune to any of the effects of social inflation. That being said, social inflation has tended to impact the liability lines a bit more than the property lines. And the mutual segment is more concentrated in those property lines. We've also seen that concentration increase over the past 5-year period. So that being said, mutuals may not see the effects of social inflation as much as their stock counterparts may. But for those companies that are impacted by social inflation, they've seen the impacts in the form of increased loss adjustment expense costs, and they're working to mitigate that through strengthening their reserve positions to position themselves well to handle those challenges as they are expected to continue over the near term, and also utilizing technology a bit more in the claims handling process, drones, aerial imagery, and things of that nature, again, in order to enhance that claims handling process and prepare themselves to withstand these effects moving forward.
Lauren, given the volatility of 2022 and 2023 thus far, can AM Best comment on the financial strength of mutuals?
Absolutely. So, as you mentioned, 2022, it was a perfect storm. We saw volatility on the underwriting side with the effects that I mentioned in the beginning. And we also saw volatility on the investment side, volatility in the equity markets, which made it tough for mutual insurers. 2022 was also a good scenario in terms of stressing the industry. It was a good stress test to see how this segment would perform under these conditions. Just relating it back to that mutual philosophy, that long-term financial stability, the goal of increasing that stability for the long term. Growing surplus is the bread and butter for mutual companies. 2022, again, we did see that surplus decline, but this was the first time in over 10 years that we saw a decline in the segment. So mutuals have had time to build themselves up, to strengthen their capital bases, again, to be able to withstand a year like 2022.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you, John.
That was financial analyst Lauren Magro. You can find the full report online at ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm John Weber.